Okay, take it away, President.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thanks everyone for joining. Sorry, our lighting is a little off, but we're here. And all right. A thank you to Salam for his work. He was able to secure 500 test kits for Project 75. So that was a great job. And that was donated by Dr. Khan. And so after the giving event this next weekend, or this coming weekend, I guess, Saturday, we're going to do a thank you post for Dr. Khan and just thanking him for at least giving us 500, which was a huge, huge help. So that
Yeah,
was
and I
great.
think part of that is to wrap that into our Giving Tuesday uh,
We'll talk
event.
about that later.
Okay,
Yeah, perfect. Let's see. More good news for from Salam. He has confirmed. He and Ben have confirmed 16 volunteers for this coming weekend's event, and so that was great. We got Ben. If you don't remind how the 6 and the 10 came about to be 16.
Yeah, sure. So there's six people. Um, uh,
uh-oh. I'm sorry, you broke up, but I don't know if that's me or you.
promised by an organization called the Hereafter Ghana. They are also into medical screening and other humanitarian works in Tamale. Salam conferenced them the last time we spoke, and they were with a view that they will be having a conference in Accra. I actually saw their flyer on their Facebook page called the Hereafter Ghana. They have an annual conference and fundraising in Accra, and all their team would be there. But they promised that their volunteers are always in Tamale, so they would be joining us for the program.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Great. And can you give us just a little bit of background on what kind of medical projects they do? Are they similar to ours with regards to testing, or do they focus more on treatment, or do you know?
So they actually do a lot. They sometimes do treatment. They identify someone who um is ill of a particular illness. Sometimes they post the person on social media
Uh-huh.
with, yes, the number directly for people to support with funds. They
Uh-huh.
also, so they are more general. They also do take as us, but they do what we do also. Yeah. So their activities can be seen on Facebook. They are just they're here after Ghana. I think I've been following them for some time now personally. Yeah.
Great.
All
Great.
right.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Perfect. And then another praise or a win for us when we were in our Friday meeting with Salam and Ben. We were talking about how to calculate the statistics for those individuals that we test. Because as it looks, as you'll find out further in the meeting, we did not get the 500 test kits from the Ghana AIDS Foundation. So we only have the 500, but we have enough kits for to test the other diseases. And so you want to explain the new or the different way of calculating?
Yeah, so as what we did was we made the change so that instead of saying there are, for example, 1,500 people at a giving event for medical, assuming that they all got tested for everything that we're testing for, instead of taking, for example, if we have 500 test kits and 1,500 people show up, if we don't align the number tested with the number of positive, we can't get the positivity rate. And so is what we've done because we don't want to hold on to tests because I think you'll hear, if you haven't already, the reason that the Ghana AIDS Commission can't give us tests is because they've spoiled or expired. And so because of that, we don't want to get in a situation where we hold tests that expire. That would be the worst case scenario because not only would we be wasting money, but we would not be treating or testing anyone either to identify issues. So the reason that we've decided to do it this way is we'll simply focus on the positivity rate, which is the number of tests that we have and the number of positive outcomes. So each of the 5 categories, I think there's 5. I'm sorry I get mixed up, but I get mixed up with the hepatitis B and C. But in any case, I think those are the 5 things we test for. There'll be a positivity rate for each of those. So now we don't have to go into an event holding 1,000 test kits for the number of people that show up. We can hold the number of test kits that we want to purchase and then go through them, not running into the potential for spoilage and having our more accurate numbers. So, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And then another praise for celebration for Salam and Benny. They're doing very great work, diligently entering all the medical data from our last events. We had about, I think, 8 total projects, and we were able to, they were mixed numbers because some of them were the pre numbers and they had switched when we did the rebranding and everything. So Ben and I were able to identify all of the correct numbers for the medical events, and then they are entering just, I think, 4 more events. I say just 4 more events, but there's a couple thousand people at maybe a couple of those events. So, but yeah.
Yeah, and just for clarification, it wasn't the effect of the rebranding, it was the migration into Smiley.
Okay.
That caused those numbers to be different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. As we mentioned, Salam is not able to be here today, but Ben, do you happen to know the final count of all test kits for the event next weekend?
At the moment, I do not know the final count.
Okay, no
Yes,
problem.
but Salam and I spoke of having a nurse in the office this week before the event so that we'll do the final sorting. So we'll
Oh,
get one of the nurses come around, do the final sorting before Saturday.
Okay.
okay. Great plan. Perfect. And let's see, action item, the thank you post for Dr. Khan, that will be done after the giving event. We had talked about that. Have you been able to get a photo of Dr. Khan, Benny?
Yes. So Salam showed me his social media handle. So
Uh-huh.
I just pulled out a photo from there. Yeah.
Okay,
Then he's
perfect.
based in Accra. So we might not get him physically to take a picture, but he has a lot on social media. So I'm sure we could use that.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's perfect. That's
yeah,
perfect.
that'll work great.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. And that will be targeted for the Giving Tuesday, which I believe I'm not great with dates. I'll be the first to admit it, but I think it's December 2nd.
It is, but we're going to
Yes.
split those. So it's a thank you post for Dr. Khan,
Okay.
and then we're going to have a Giving Tuesday post asking people for donations.
Oh, we are? I didn't realize that. Benny, is that the way you understand it?
Okay. I think last week or on Friday, what I understood was we make the post thanking him on the given on the second, and we encourage others to do so.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That
See,
was
I
my
thought we were
understanding.
going to have thank you post after the event and then a Giving Tuesday event, thanking everybody that was involved with our event, and then a Giving Tuesday event. So that was my mistake.
It's interesting. So, Benny, you can clarify this as what you think is best too, is or if anyone else has input. The Giving Tuesday event. So, Benny, do you see a thank you to organizations prior to the December 2nd date,
Um,
or
I
was that not
that
on your
since
radar?
yes, since he particularly is an individual, we were thinking more organizations would come on board where we have a post specifically thanking them. But as it stands, I think he's the only person we have as a donor we are thinking of thanking officially on our pages.
Okay. So what do you how
Yes.
do you feel about the other nonprofits? Are there still a couple that are going to participate in the event at the office as well, or
There's
has that changed?
2 or 3 nonprofits.
Yes, the Hereafter Ghana is one that
Uh-huh.
would be supporting us with the volunteers.
Okay, so maybe as what we do is we recognize them immediately after the giving event, before
Uh,
we do the video processing and the images and all the things that go around the event. And then we, on December 2nd, do as I had thought, and I think Benny had thought, was to highlight Dr. Khan in that Giving Tuesday post
Okay.
so that uh, we can show an example of someone who's given to us and what they gave while acknowledging his gift. How do you feel about that, Benny? And Elaina, feel free to comment if you have any input on strategies for Giving Tuesday.
Yes, so I think that gives us more content to post since we wouldn't have much after the event. So separating the NGOs to or recognizing them immediately after the event and having doctor posted on December 2nd, it's good by me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so is what I think we'll have, Benny. And I haven't looked. I haven't had time to really, or taken the time to look at your social media posts coming up. So if I understand right, between now and the end of the year, we'll have the one for the NGOs who participated in the event. Will we have another one about the event this week?
No, no, we won't have one about the event.
Okay. So we
Yes.
will not have one about the event. We'll have the thank you for the NGOs, the Hereafter Ghana individual post. Then we'll have one for Dr. Khan's donation on the second. Then we'll have a photo, an image and blog post about the event and a video about the event, right?
Yes. Yes. And then going into December, we would have the end of year wrap up post as well.
Right. Right.
Yes.
Okay. And so, um,
Elena, did you have any feedback on the Giving Tuesday social media?
No, that all sounds good to me.
okay. So Benny, I think that's is so would you putting on your content, your social media manager hat, or however you want to say it, do you think that we have enough social media posts right now to get us through the end of the year successfully?
Yeah, I think we do.
Okay.
We would still be posting about the newsletter
Uh-huh.
also going into December. But I don't we could make another post this week actually about the event, a final post. That is fine by me because last week we didn't have a post.
Right. I
Yes,
remember that.
so
Yeah.
yeah, so I think we could have a post. Just a reminder that the day is near. We have some few days more to go.
Yeah, I think it's good. And I guess that would be your call as to if that's the day before or the day of or maybe even a couple of days before.
Okay, so
When do you think that would be best, Benny?
I think a day before.
Okay. So that
Yes,
people can maybe align their schedules or however.
yes,
Okay, so we'll have another post then uh this week. On Friday it sounds like reminding
yes.
people that Saturday is the event and that they should stop by.
Oh yeah, sure.
And how do you feel the promotion for the event is going? Are you feeling like we're going to have a good number of turnout, or do you feel like it might be a little light?
Um, so I think we would have a good number. My only fear was because it's in town and when it's in the city, people don't. Everyone seems to um be so much on schedule. They don't attend things like this. But with the approach we've taken, Salam has actually he has been calling some people who own gyms
Ah,
just to inform them that we have a free medical event.
okay.
Yes. So there's also a school nearby. We are planning of just informing the authorities that if the students will be less busy, they can allow them pass by to have the free screening.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, those are great ideas. It's always hard doing an event where you don't have a captive audience. I think when we go to the village, like you say, we have a captive audience. They know we're coming ahead of time. They maybe
Yeah.
move at a little slower pace in the villages, and I think that's our advantage. So we'll see how this one goes. I hope that we have a big turnout.
Yeah, sure. We hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Awesome. Okay, let's see. Under medical data entry, it asked if we were able to identify and enter the last remaining projects. We did identify them, and like I mentioned, we are in the process of entering the last ones.
And the last ones you counted for,
Yes.
is that the number that you have as well, Benny?
Yes.
Okay.
So from the so I'm planning to when I get back, I'm still in a little bit. Hopefully tomorrow morning I'll be going back to Tamale.
Uh-huh.
Um, yes, I will sit with Salam and show him those projects as well.
Okay.
But from what Presido sent, I could really reconcile checking from the dashboard of what we entered. I could really see four that have not been entered so far. So I plan of taking that upon myself and informing Sam so that next week they would be entered. Yeah.
Great. Thank you for that, Benny, and we appreciate you taking that on. As we know, it wasn't originally in your scope. It's definitely seen as and is appreciated. Thank you for that.
For sure. I'm glad
Welcome.
my little late night sketch. I was trying to take a picture of the piece of paper and send it to you, and my phone, would flash because it was dark. And Kevin was like, "What are you doing up there?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Good.
I woke up the next morning and I saw it.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, wow.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was funny. It was
Yeah.
funny.
All right.
That's good. I'm glad that you guys reconciled it. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Let's see. For Kevin, it says, has our internal data reporting been updated to reflect the new per test calculation method?
Yeah, so I updated the query for the medical uh, dashboard, as it's called, within Smiley that shows the data. And if you look at the medical dashboard, you can now see the positivity rate for each of the tests based on the test count. So now, if 1,500 show up at the event on Saturday, and they all get tested for typhoid, that number will be the number of positives will be divided by 15. If we only have 500 HIV tests, then it will be divided by 500. And so those calculations are currently in the report on the dashboard within Smiley. And if there's any questions or concerns, let me know. Benny, were you able to have a look at it or at least see it in Discord?
Yes, I saw it on Discord
Okay.
and I saw the new categorization. Yeah.
Great. And it all looks good to you. It looks better, huh?
Yes, it does. Sure.
Uh-huh. I
Yeah.
agree. This is the way we should be doing it because we can't guarantee everyone who comes will be tested for everything. And to do that math in that order is not producing accurate results. So I think we've definitely stepped up our game uh, with regards to our reporting of positivity cases as well as the ability for us to be flexible with test kit donations or test kit purchases. So that's great.
Perfect. All right. The next question for Benny
I'm
was.
sorry, I have one more thought on that.
Mhm.
Benny, when you sit with the nurse maybe this week before to get the final test kit count on what you have, could you you'll have that number as far as how many test kits you have. Could you just reiterate that by December 31st, the end of the year, fiscal year for us, that we should have no test kits in inventory, excuse me, in inventory, just so that we don't have any expiration issues. Could you um, remind Salam or the nurse or just take a note yourself in your mind that we need to have those used up by the end of the year, and if that means uh, something different, then we should address that in the future.
Okay, yes. Yeah, I think I'll get that communicated so that we'd
Okay,
all be in line. Yes.
great, great. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Good. Good, good.
Sure. Okay.
The next one talks about reconciling the blog posts. I think that's to be done after all the data entry.
Yeah, I
Is
think so.
so
But
that's
Benny
not
can
Yeah.
confirm that.
okay.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Let's see. And the status of the Starlink for service agreement for Salifu, is that after we meet Salifu?
Yeah,
Meet
that's
with him?
after we meet Sally Fu, and I think Salam is trying to clear off next week's meeting. So next week's meeting will be very important for all board members to attend, as we'll be discussing potential grant operations and additional uh, funding that we may be taking on in 2026 with the help of Sally Fu and the grant writing process.
We were asked if there's any candidates for the grant coordinator position. I know it's been just since Friday we chatted with you, Ben. Have you guys talked of any names or kind of thrown any names around?
So me personally, I've not been able to come up with a lot of names.
Okay.
Though I was telling Simon that when things are ready, he could apply.
Okay.
Yeah, but keep looking to see maybe if I get someone who is the best fit, I'll bring the person to just to keep us all on the known. Yeah.
Yeah, great, great. And Simone, can you give me a little bit? Can you give us a little bit of his background or what he's doing right now?
So currently, he's a mental health officer at the hospital in Nalerigo Baptist Medical Center.
Beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful. Yeah. So is it? Yeah. So I think along this, I think the president and I have talked enough that this is such a critical position in the organization that probably this first grant writing effort that we're going to go through in, let's say, January 26, I will probably be working directly with Sally Fu, but we would like to have someone like Simone on potentially as a mentee. So I would help mentor them into this grant coordination role. And so they don't necessarily need to come with all the skills. They just have to be eager to learn and a good communicator. And I think those are the key things for us. So just to keep that in mind, I think that it's too important to just try to pass off for someone. And the president has agreed that this is a big deal. You know, we have to communicate right and be able to manage this properly. So I think it's really more of a mentee role initially, until the president and myself get comfortable with the individual uh, to take a larger role and make sure that they're a good fit for the organization. Now, we did write the job description for that, and we still have to review that. We should take an action item for the group, the Ghana group, on Friday's meeting to discuss that uh, job description to make sure it still fits as I wrote it about, I think, 4 months ago. So we should take a minute and take an action item to do that in Friday's meeting.
That's good.
Yeah. Benny,
All right. So
do you have any thoughts on that, Benny, or comments?
yeah, I think that's actually the best way. Because rules like this, it might be tough getting someone who is already um versed with all the knowledge to go with, but having someone or people to mentor them, then get the best out of them is a good way to go. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that it's just to throw someone into the position and say coordinate our grants, I don't think would be fair to either them or the organization. It's just the
Mm.
organization is an international organization with many different facets. So for someone expecting someone to learn that on their own, even with a tool like Notebook LM, would be you'd be setting yourself up for failure. So I think it's better that We have a direct mentor mentee relationship going forward with the grant coordinator. And I think that this is a position that will be easier to hire into.
All right, sure. Okay.
Great.
Great.
Next up are the budgets, budgets for the media, office, and projects for next year. Have you and Salam been able to gather any numbers for those, for the budgets? Sorry, Benny.
You might be muted, Benny.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was busy.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So I said my budget, I'm hopeful to be done by the end of this week. I just had some few things to reconcile, especially the one I asked about number of average posts we'll be making per week, which
Yeah.
will help inform on the amount we spend on posting those posts. Yeah, so I bet since I got that confirmation, I'll put everything together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
Great. And Benny, on that, I wanted to ask you really quick, is it a permission issue for you to start boosting the posts, or is it just that I've been doing it? What can you do the boosting of the posts going forward, or do we have an issue with that?
Um, I think I can. But anytime I make the post, I'm always presented with the next option to boost it straightforward.
Okay.
Yes, but because it's always been something handled by you, that's why I just leave that out. But
Okay.
we could try it on the next post to see if I have the full permission to proceed to boost the post, if that's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and try that on your next post and then let me know how it
Okay.
goes because I really would like to get out from under that because it's really under your umbrella more than it is mine. And as you develop your own budget going forward, that'll allow you to better control things.
All right, sure. I'll try that on the next post.
So
Yeah.
when he makes the
Yeah.
post, you want him to post, we want him to boost it then or boost
Yeah.
it later?
No, boost it right away when he
Okay.
goes through. See if he can. I don't think it's a permission issue. If it is, we'll try to resolve it because I really feel it falls under your responsibility, Benny, more than mine.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And then so yeah, so if you could just let me know how that goes, and we'll work through it so that you can do that going forward. Because the other thing that I noticed is really quick on this boosting a post. I know you've been setting the URL better because I've been seeing that. I don't know how you're doing that or what's happening, but if we have a specific post, like let's say that we boost the post about Dr. Um, Khan, if we also make a blog post about that, I feel like the URL for the boosting should not just point to givebasicneeds.org, but should be our blog post about Dr. Khan. Does that make sense?
Yes, sure. Yeah.
So, because we have the list of menus and things at the top, I think if we can post deeper links, if you will, in the social media boost, it will direct people to additional information about the topic rather than more generic information like who Give Basic Needs is.
Yes, I think I agree with that.
Okay.
Yes, so, yeah. So going
Great. So
forward.
so when we go forward with the next boosting, I think try to link to the blog, it post itself, and then see if you can boost it with the budget of $1 per post for 14 days. I'm sorry, a
Okay.
dollar. Yeah, $1 a day for
A day
14
for
days.
14. Yes, sure.
And I still think that that's beneficial. Do you? Are we getting more followers? I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Good.
Especially as we continue to invite our reactors to like our page.
Yeah, good. So
Yes.
you're still following up with those on a daily or weekly or every other day, whatever kind of thing, inviting them to follow us.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, I do that like a day or 2 days, every day or 2 days. I try
Great.
doing that. Yeah.
Great. And what kind of numbers are you getting from that when you and ask them to invite if you do it every 2 days? Do you have an idea?
So roughly, at some time we could get like three people following.
Yeah.
Yes, but as it continues, we are getting a bit. I think somewhere last week we were sitting at 737 followers.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but I'm trying to check from as we speak. I think that's increased a bit. We are now 743, so about six more people from last week.
Perfect. Perfect. That's good work,
Yes.
Benny. Thank you for that effort. It's appreciated.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. All right. Next action item was for me an update on the venue for the December conference. We did find and secure a house. However, we may be changing that house because I don't think we're going to need as many bedrooms. But that's a discussion the directors can talk about at a later time and figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Next one for Elaina, status update on the December conference announcement, as well as the other policy that you sent out. Has any problems with that?
Or are they all signed?
I sent them all out, but I have not checked to see if people have signed them yet. Give me a minute and I'll take a look.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, just real quick, Danny and Luke, have you guys signed?
I have not, but
No.
I'm waiting for my pooter to charge and then I will.
Okay. And Danny, you too, you're waiting on something, but you'll get it to it?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good. Elena, then you don't need to check right now. Just keep it on your radar and prod these guys along if they need it.
Sounds good.
Thank you for that. We appreciate you.
All right.
Of course.
Next action item was for me setting and communicating the firm line in the stand for the April Ghana trip.
Mm-hmm.
We did. We worked this weekend getting out the pre-departure travel guide and the agreement also that they will be signing, just so we can have some background information on them, emergency contact and things like that. Really is all it is. So this January 15th will be when the first part of the initial non-refundable deposit will be due, and then
Can I comment on that really?
Yeah.
So the way that we structured it, just so that everybody is aware, is the the people who are traveling are really traveling with Salam as a responsible concierge. But we wanted everyone traveling to make a small donation to help either with these giving events, the three giving events that will take place during the travel, or three in the future, or three in the past, however you look at it, right? Whatever. So, is what we've done is we've structured it so that the initial tax deductible portion is given to Give Basic Needs, through our website. So the individuals who are traveling will make a $450 donation to the organization, which increases our public support, and it allows them to get a tax credit for that $450 of the trip. Then later, after, this is what the president was then going to say, is
when the final
payment is due,
Mhm.
which is,
I don't know.
it's okay, the final due date, which it's in the group and it's in the documentation. It's okay. But when that final payment is made, that will be made in USDC directly to Salam, because is what this does. It extracts the liability away from the organization and leaves it essentially individuals responsible for their own well-being, essentially. And that's what the waiver agreement states, is that they're not actually traveling with Give Basic Needs. They're making a deposit, holding their spot in line, and paying for some of the which is the donation part. We takes care of the tax credit, and then the remaining part, which is due 3 weeks before the travel, I believe, or a month before the travel, then will be made in USDC directly to the concierge on the ground, who is Salam. And then Salam and Benny will procure the hotels and reservations and things, and pick us up at the airport, basically. And Benny, you're going to travel with us, correct?
Yes, that's correct. I'll be available throughout.
Great.
Yeah.
We're super excited to have you, and I'm looking forward to spending more time together.
Yeah, sure. Looking forward to that too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
the final non-refundable is due March 8th, 2026. So
Right.
I was able to find that.
Great.
Right.
And then the travel is, I'm sorry, on which date? You probably have it right there too.
What's that?
The day that we'll arrive in Ghana is
April 13th.
April 13th,
And
right?
that day is just to, it's a day, kind of a flex day, if you will, that everybody arrives either in the morning or the evening, kind of allowing for if delayed flights or anything like that. Then on the 14th, the next day, that'll be day one when we wake up and we set out on our adventure.
Yeah.
So,
So
and
that's
then
great.
that is wrapping up on the 23rd of April is the last day to where we go from Tamale to Accra. From Accra, you will have your international flights from there back home.
Yeah.
So that'll be on the 23rd.
Yep, absolutely. So we've nailed all that down, which is really good and something that we needed have been hanging over us a bit. So thanks to Benny and Salam for proofreading all of it and making sure that it all works. I know the people that we've talked to that are planning on going are really, really excited about the opportunity to spend some quality time in the country of Ghana and indulge in the culture and the beautiful people. So that's exciting.
Yeah, very much so. Let's see. You said that you were going to have the final payment on the purchase invoice for Salam ready in the coming days?
Yeah, so this is for Salam. Hopefully he'll while he can't be here, he can catch up. Salam, I will be sending you for the Accra travel purchase invoice in the coming days. I have some holds on some current transactions that need to be freed up before I can do that. And that we got a little bit delayed because of all the account shifting, but that's all settled down now. All of the accounts are back at Fidelity and uh, Chase and Gemini. So I'll be sending that in the coming week for that. Yep.
Perfect. All right, now we're down to some more questions. Bank account. It says the Bank of Ghana's new high risk policy.
Oh yeah, they should talk about this, even though Salam isn't here. Benny, if you have any thoughts on it, you were in Friday's meeting, just intervene, but the president will update the board on this.
It says Salam will report on the cost process he has learned for opening the bank account. Abbie and Kevin will present the 3 potential options. The board needs to be aware of this and discuss the path forward as it's the only way to enable our 2026 grant strategy. So the 3 potential options.
The 3 options are so basically nonprofit bank accounts are getting let's back up. We've been struggling a lot with getting the Calusi Family Foundation and Give Basic Needs registered in the country of Ghana as a nonprofit because they've gotten a lot stricter on what is a nonprofit to try to cut down on money laundering, ill-willed organizations, etc. So that's also carried to the bank account. So the bank account that they're getting more strict on for nonprofit, which we're trying to open up so we can pursue grants in the 2026 timeframe, requires that biometrics be taken from all signers on the account, period. And so with this change, we found that there are 3 primary options, and I'll go through them now. We can ask questions as they come up at here, and then we'll discuss this with the president will discuss it with each board member after the meeting to decide how we should proceed. So one is the president and I and potentially Danny try to fly to Ghana in the coming weeks and provide our biometrics and get our residency. We need residency cards in addition to our Ghana card. So Salam is working on what that means to get a residency card, but to do the bank account thing, you need to have the residency card and the biometrics for all signers. So this is what the nonprofits are required to do now to open a bank account. So the three of us travel on short notice to get the biometrics gathered, to get our residency cards, our Ghana cards, and open the bank account before 2026 so we can begin to do these grant proposals and seek funding.
We do understand this is the busiest time of year for Daniel, so.
Right. So taking that into consideration,
Yeah.
I'm just putting out all the options, and then there'll be one that, like I said, the board can agree on and we'll move forward with. So the second option is that we allow Salam to use the power of attorney, which he's been given to open the bank account, to be the explicit signer on the account until we travel in April. And at that time, it would be the Presidio, myself, and Luke, who is who, as of today, I'm confident is traveling to Ghana in April, would become the three signers on the account, provide our biometrics, and provide the and get our residency cards there, our Ghana cards at that time. Then the third option is for the Presidio and I to travel now and open the bank account with two signers so that we can proceed with the grant writing in 2026, as in January, not waiting till April, and then adding Luke as the signer when he travels in April. Well, those are the three scenarios that we've come up with to try to figure out how we can deal with the residency requirements and the biometric requirements for opening the Ghana bank account. So, Benny or Presidio, if I misspoke, please correct me now. Does that sound right to you? Benny, does that sound right to you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I just want to add something.
Yeah.
Since there's a change of government, they are trying to be more stricter on some things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I think since they just started office, they want to do things to show they actually working and they are changing policies. So that has accounted for all this stricter. Though they used to be there, but they were a bit flexible with the other governments
Uh-huh.
that were there. So things have really changed since these people, the NDC took over, and that is causing all these things with regards to registering the bank account and even registering the Inclusive Family Foundation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. So then, Elaina, do you have any thoughts on those three that you want to share with the group now, before the president talks with you one-on-one? Or do you have questions that we should discuss now that others might have?
Not really. I think I'm all good.
Okay. And then, Daniel, do you have any thoughts or comments or questions on the three options before you speak with the president?
No.
Okay. And Luke, how about you?
I forgot what option 3 was.
That's okay. No, there's three, right? I'll go over them again really quick. So one is uh, we travel with Daniel, and the three of us are signers. Open the account now so that we can be ready for grants January 1st of 26, because that was our goal. That's been our goal all along, to be ready for grants with the bank account January 1, 2026. Option two is we give Salam the power of attorney to open the bank account and be the signer on the account. And the three of us are added in April. So this allows us to still achieve our goal with opening the bank account before January. The third option is the Presidio and I travel now to open the bank account, and we add Luke in April.
Okay.
Okay, so do you have any comments or questions, or do you want to just wait to talk to the Presidio?
I will talk to Madam President.
Okay, that's great. so that we can keep moving.
All right, last thing we have on the agenda, Salam brought up to us on Friday the possibility about being able to offer our volunteers a small stipend for them to volunteer with us for that day. And so it came up because of the medical project that's coming up, and he was asking if we could give like $15 to $30, just kind of depending, to each individual volunteer. That way, that can give them maybe perhaps the example he gave was the individual can buy soap for laundry so that way they can have clean clothes for the event, things like that.
Right, and that was actually really insightful, and I think it's a good observation that we should all take note of. So Salam was talking with a nurse who was going to volunteer at our giving event on Saturday, and her comment was, "What? I don't even get funds to clean my clothes, to wash my clothes, or buy soap for my clothes." And I think that was eye-opening for I think the president and myself, because while we know that um, people do volunteer, we're asking individuals uh, to give up their time. And we used to pay Triple S about 450 US dollars for them to do our medical events. Now we're seeking our own volunteers, but yet expecting not to pay them for their time, their energy, and their effort. And as it was put, not even to wash their clothes. And so when we look at it in that regard, I think that it's something that we need to do going forward. People have expenses of all kinds, and where we can help them out, even as a volunteer, I think it would be much appreciated and is the right thing to do. We shouldn't expect, um, you know, we shouldn't expect people to, how should I say, in my experience dealing with volunteers, there are volunteers in the US who have the means to volunteer without receiving. But in other countries, I think it may be volunteering is essentially an effort that could be spent earning other money or caring for the family, whatever it might be. And so we should be conscious of that and pay those stipends and maybe even this is kind of the other reason I haven't paid to Salam for that purchase invoice is I haven't decided if I want him to add something for the stipend at this time. And that would be something that we should discuss. Um, I think with Benny. I mean, if we can do it, I know we're over budget, but I do feel bad.
Let's check in with the other board members. So Elaina, Daniel, and Luke. Do any of you oppose offering the volunteers a small stipend?
Not at all. I think it's a fantastic idea, honestly.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
Luke.
And you, even here, you get swag when you volunteer or stuff like that. So,
Right, right.
yeah.
Okay.
And how about you, Daniel?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay. And
Perfect.
so
And
I
Ben,
think
did you have anything else to
Yeah.
add to that?
I'm not nothing to add. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but I think in Ghana that is how because of the unemployment and when people hear of volunteering opportunities, they want to take part. Some might not be at the place is taking place, and they wish to travel to other places just to join.
Uh-huh.
And so at the end of the event, they always expect that you give them something small, at least to cater for their transport or maybe the soap. It's a term in Ghana here, the washing of clothes. Like
Uh-huh.
to buy soap just means to help them in a way. Yeah, so it's actually happening here in Ghana. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Okay. So that's a
Yes.
that's a that's a that's a common phrase or term that's used there.
Yes, it's a common phrase. Like you go to a place and when you are leaving, someone gives you that take this and wash your clothes. So it's just like A
Okay.
way to, yes.
I see. That's kind. Yeah, that's a kind gesture, and I think that we need to be mindful of the budget, but I don't see. Um, I think it's an important thing, and I think that if we have the opportunity, this is the first time that we've gotten healthcare volunteers at all rounded up for an event. Everyone else has come from the Triple S organization, and so we've given out shirts, we've done things like that. Benny, do you know if there'll be any shirts or any swag given out at the event at the office?
Yes. So there are shirts. I cannot confirm the total number unless Salam, but there are shirts printed for the event.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So something for them to wash their clothes would be beneficial and appreciated. So that's good. So we'll talk with Salam on that before I send that purchase invoice funding and see if we can't agree on what that should be.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have anything else?
I don't. I've started to look at the annual numbers for the financials, and that's been going well. We've got it all consolidated now back where we can more easily look at the numbers for the year. I plan on doing that report and providing that financial analysis in the coming week. I think it was due next week. So I don't see it on the agenda right now, but I think it was due next week. And so I will be working to put together some financial numbers for how we did throughout the year. While we're over budget, I think we've been doing well on the investment side. So that's been good. That may not be forever, but it is at this point in time. So I'm continuing to work on that. And yeah, I think that's all that I have on the financial side.
Okay. Luke, did you have anything else?
Nope, I'm all good.
All right, Elaina?
You might be muted.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. Daniel?
No.
Ben?
No.
All right.
Okay, great.
Very
Well,
good. Well, thank you all for attending today. We appreciate all your help and input, and we'll see you next week.
okay,
Okay.
bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Sounds
Bye
good.
bye.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.